Look, Russia did what they needed to do. They got the 3 points from this game. I said heading into this match that both New Zealand and Russia really needed a result from this, given that Portugal and Mexico are looming on the horizon. And had both of these teams drew each other, which came very close to being so because you saw Russia wasting a lot of opportunities to put this game away very early on. Um, I would have been making this video telling you why is already eliminated. But for their own sake, fortunately, they avoided that fate, and they are with 3 points now. They met the basic minimum requirement from the opening match. You beat your weakest opponent in the group, and now they have to try to pick off points now against Portugal and Mexico. Um, Ideally for Russia, they'll need at least a point from Portugal and Mexico from one of those games to get through. But even with 4 points, it might not be enough. But one game at a time. So this match, I thought New Zealand started off the first 20 minutes doing a really good job defensively, holding Russia back, stifling any creativity up front. Um, a little bit unfortunate for them to go behind in the 31st minute through an own goal. Uh, it was a big scramble in the box. Glushakov got a foot to it, deflected in off the post. But the referees and later the video assistant referees determined that it was an own goal. The game, given the way that New Zealand played in the first half, they created a couple of chances themselves. I think both teams deserve to go into halftime all square. Second half, you have to give Russia a lot of credit. Russia came out strong. They boxed New Zealand into their own half. New Zealand barely saw any of the ball. They could hardly get coherent, numerous passes to each other. Um, Russia really. Russia's problem, though, in this game was the final third, putting away their chances and making the most of their opportunities. Because in a group with your weakest opponent, you need to win by as many goals as possible. And arguably, they should have only won this game 1-0, if not for the own goal. Um, I thought the two best players on the pitch today were Samedov and Fyodor Smolov for Russia. He's a very talented player. I've never heard of him before until this tournament, but I was really impressed with what I saw from him. He scored Russia's goal. He was really on the receiving end of all the chances that they had tried to create moving forward. But they just couldn't find the back of the net. If they had capitalized on all of their chances, I think Russia would have won this game 4-0. But they have to come away from this a little bit cautious and a little disappointed because the way they played today, if they do that against Portugal and Mexico, they're going to get eaten alive. And I just look at this Russian team and the way they play, the style that they played, it seemed slow. The pace of this match was slow. And it didn't really pick up until the second half, in my opinion. And the question that I have is, will this Russian team, how will they match up against a high-flaring side like Mexico? I don't think they match up well against them. Two very different style of playing. I think Mexico would have the advantage in that scenario. Arguably, I could see Russia having more problems with Mexico than they would with Portugal because, at least with Portugal, there's some element of familiarity between the two teams. They've played each other several times, both in friendlies and in previous World Cup and Euro qualification phases. They've beaten each other several times. We know Portugal tends to start off the tournaments very slowly. So I think Russia's biggest threat for progression in this group is going to be Mexico. And unfortunately for them, it comes in their last game. But we'll see what the scenario is by the time they meet. For now, it's a job well done. I thought New Zealand was going to get a consolation goal in the last 10 minutes. My prediction, as you guys know, was 2-1 for Russia. It almost came true. Ryan Thomas with a great volley that was made by a great save by Igor Akinfeev. I think it was the 84th minute. And then towards the end, New Zealand, off a corner kick, hit the post. Really unlucky. I think they played well enough today to deserve at least a goal from this encounter. And for the last 5 to 10 minutes, New Zealand was the one that was asserting its dominance. Mostly because they had to, because they were down 2-0. But you saw Russia sort of just disappeared afterwards. And they could have conceded. They could have only won this game narrowly 2-1. And that wouldn't have spelled that would have spelled danger for them heading into their next two games. But they got the clean sheet. That's what matters in a group like this that could go down to goal difference. If everybody in this group beats New Zealand, and you have one or two ties here and there, this thing could go down to goal difference. So that's what I mean when I say that Russia really, the wasted opportunities that they created in the final third, this could come back to bite them, because this scoreline could have been anywhere between 3-4-0 or 5-1, 6-1, as far as I'm concerned. But they won't be having too much complaints, because at the end of the day, they avoided catastrophe. Catastrophe here would be dropping any points at all against this New Zealand team, no disrespect. And I think they would have been out of the tournament. Even with 2 more games to play, I think they would have been out if they did not win this today. So, well done, Russia. Good luck in your next match against the Portuguese. And I'll see you guys in my next video, where I do a reaction to Portugal versus Mexico tomorrow. Until then, peace out.